G'day and welcome to Wine Week. I'm Danny.
And I'm Brad.
And I've got a dodgy moustache, but we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, I think you've got a bit of explaining to do there, Dan.
Yeah, let's talk about wine to start with.
Let's kick off with an old favourite of mine. This is a regular on my quaffing list, and this is the Orlando St Helga's Riesling. Now, Orlando St Helga's Riesling has got a really good track record. Year in, year out, it is a Riesling wine that you can buy. You know you're going to get good value for money. You're going to get a really bright, crisp wine, and this is the 07, it's no exception. Great thing again about these wines, and we do go on about it, but there's good reason, the value here. We're looking at about $14 we paid for this because it is one of those ones that does get discounted on special. The recommended retail is more in the high teens, but look, shop around, you'll see it for around 15 or under, and at that it is a great buy. Look, the Orlando St Helga's, it's one of those ones that's still under the Orlando brand. Look, we've looked at a few that used to be Orlando branded, now they're Jacobs Creek, just because of the way that they've moved a few of the portfolio around. But this one's still under Orlando, still a great Riesling, year in, year out. It's one that you should go out, get a bottle of, and just pop it open.
Yeah, it certainly is. Look, Jacobs Creek, Orlando, you know, the two of them together, quintessentially Aussie wines without a doubt. But the next one we're going to have a look at, quintessentially American. Look, you don't have to be a huge wine geek to know the Stag's Leap name, and this is the Stag's Leap Petite Syrah. Now, a lot of people in Australia probably don't hear the words Petite Syrah very often, but that's because out here we tend to call it Giriffe. Now, the same sort of grape, definitely. Stag's Leap, this one, it's not that huge, enormous Giriffe that kind of the Rutherglen guys put together, partly because they've got little bits of Shiraz, Grenache, and even Viognier just kind of dropped into the bottle to make sure that it kind of softens those huge tannins out. Now, we've talked about tannins before. Those are the things that dry the mouth out when you're having a red. And some of those Rutherglens, it's almost like blotting paper just being thrown into your mouth. Not so much with the Stag's Leap. This is a much more approachable wine. But the great thing about Giriffe Petite Syrah is the fact that it will age, and this, I reckon, you'd probably get 10 to 30 years out of it. So if you're looking for something to put down for a friend's child that's just been born and you hope that it's going to last for 21 odd years, this would be a great option. Beautiful flavours, kind of chocolatey, almost mocha sort of finish on it. A beautiful bottle, but it is about $50 in Australia, about $35 in the US, so it's not exactly super cheap, but it's a super wine.
Yeah, and look, it's one of the US ones that are starting to creep into the Aussie market at the moment. We haven't seen a lot of them here in Australia, so if you're looking for something different, and this is a fantastic wine, don't forget about the price tag for a minute. It's worth having a look for, just for something a bit different.
Yeah, it certainly would be a goer.
Right, I'm going to finish with something that's not particularly different because we've had a look at this wine before. This is the Tyrrell's Rufus Stone. Now, you might recall, we've looked at this before. They do two different varieties, two different regions under the Rufus Stone brand. They do one from Heathcote and one from McLaren Vale. The bottle we've picked up here, this is the Heathcote from 2006, and it is an absolute ripper. The 05 from there probably wasn't up to the high expectations that they would have liked, but the 06 really bounced back, and this is a big wine here. The Heathcote region in Victoria is really getting a reputation for its Shiraz, and rightly so. And again, great thing here is the value for money. You're looking at a wine that is sub $20 quite often when it's on special, and that's a lot of the time because it is one of those ones. Tyrrells have got a few grapes up there, so they can afford to produce a few wines, and the retailers don't mind knocking a few dollars off so that the punters like us can get a bottle, and it's really good value for money. Again, it's quite a rich Shiraz, but it's not as big, is in your face as some of the Barossa Shiraz. So if you're looking for something that's really good value for money, have a look at the Tyrrell's Rufus Stone Shiraz.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of Heathcote Shiraz out there, $50 to $150. This is a good way to get into that sort of region and give it a go. Now, last thing, I promised I'd talk about this Mo. It's for Movember, raising money and awareness for prostate cancer and for depression in men. Look, great cause. If you're interested in, heading a few dollars to the Movember cause, head to wineweek.com.au. I'll have the link so that you can sponsor me to grow a dodgy mustache for Movember.
And if you think it looks dodgy now, wait till about 3 weeks. End of November, it's going to be awful.
You're going to have to put up with it week after week. So, make sure it's worth my time. Anyhow, that's it for this week. We'll see you all again next week.
See you next week.